When I was little, I would get tucked into bed every night and I would shut my eyes. And as soon as I would shut my eyes, I had this experience, this comforting experience that became consistent and predictable for me at the age of like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, for a very long time. I would shut my eyes at night and I would see all of the stars in the sky, and I could travel down like these little wormholes, like into different spaces. And I kind of had this sense of like time traveling and like wondering what was at the edge of the universe. And I would wake up in the morning and I would say to my dad, what is at the edge of space? What's at the edge of the universe? And he would say to me, infinity. Like, okay, I guess I'm going to go with that. And then I thought, well, what happens after infinity? I didn't realize it at the time, but I knew I was tapping into something bigger, something different, and something that most of us know as children, but we forget along the way. That is what we are going to be talking about today: how we learn and unlearn and can relearn who we are in this physical third dimensional reality, this fourth dimensional intellectual mental energy space that we all get to have and enjoy and experience. And then that wondrous, amazing, magical, expansive, energetic, quantum aspect of who we are in 5D reality. Welcome to Infinite You. I'm Dr. Sheri. I am a psychologist, an abundance mindset mentor, but definitely super passionate above all else of helping humans remember they are infinite, to tune into their potential, to tap into and listen to the whispers of their souls so they can powerfully manifest their reality and whatever it is they would like to be, do, have, and experience. Remember, so much of this human journey here on earth is all about perception. Perception is all about mindset. Mindset is multidimensional. And I love talking about mindset in this way that is beyond the physical nature of who we are or the psychologic and then goes into the energetic aspect. But I want to go back to what it's like when we're children, right? Children are born connected to all that is. They know. Children are so tuned in to what is going on in this multidimensional reality, and they are not limited by conditioning. Children are intuitive by nature, connected by nature, curious by nature, open to possibility by nature. They know that they are creators. Think about the way that children play and imagine and construct reality when they are young. They are they ask the big questions, the why, the how come. They trust sorry about that. They trust the unseen. It's a really amazing, powerful way to be in the world. And we humans kind of like, as we get older, we forget about that wonder because conditioning begins to replace curiosity with compliance. And we are definitely taught to be realistic and follow the rules and stop asking what if. But remember, that wonder, that magic, that childlike awe and curiosity is still very much inside of you. It is absolutely part of your human blueprint. And so when I talk about and think about mindset in this multidimensional way, it really is not just about thinking better. Remember, it is about remembering better. It is about remembering the very nature of who you are in this physical world, in this three dimensional reality. whatever is going on intellectually in your mind in that mental energy space connected to human emotions, which is huge and a very beautiful, big, amazing gift. I've got a corgi hanging out behind me growling. A beautiful, amazing gift in terms of using your emotions as a tool to get much more clear on the thoughts you're thinking, who you believe you are, what beliefs are true and resonant for you, what you can get rid of, what would you like to release, what would you like to create, what would you like to experience. So remember, like that emotional energy that is tied very much into your thoughts and beliefs are definitely a way for you to get phenomenally clear and very discerning about your personal journey toward what you really want to create, who you really want to become, how do you really want to feel, what do you really want to do with your life this time around. And I know for me, so I had these like tuned in like bits of understanding my nature as a child in a very cool, infinite way. And then, I went through my own conditioning and programming because we all do. And then I studied calculus, I should say, as a freshman or a sophomore in college, where we started talking about all of these equations and what happens to the equation as the variable approaches infinity. And I thought, oh my God, like for the first time in a very long time, someone started talking about infinity again, and like my little antennas went up and I was all in. Then I studied physics, and all of a sudden I had words like quantum field and energy to talk about what I saw and felt and believed as a small child kind of come back to me in a scientific way. And at the same time, I really started taking a deep dive into metaphysics. And so I was kind of like weaving in all of these moments in time into a tapestry of connecting my internal knowing and guidance and understanding at a deeper level, at an interconnected level with spirituality and the metaphysical side of things. And, I did not know the words for this at the time, but understanding myself as a third, fourth, and fifth dimensional, multi-dimensional being. And so science and math definitely kind of filled the gaps of my understanding of what I felt like I knew was true for me, what I felt for sure as a small child. And I definitely, as a small child, had this feeling and this understanding that everything was connected, but I just didn't have the words for it. And so now, as a grown up, I can talk about the quantum field, interconnectedness, consciousness, God's mind, everything is one and the same. Our multidimensional way of being, multidimensional reality. And definitely, like I said, like weaving mindset, which is how we perceive ourselves and our reality and how we can create whatever it is that we would like to be, do, have, or experience. And so for me, this is really, I think, like the crux of what I love, love, love talking about, because we humans have many beliefs and old programs that are running through us because it is the consequence of how we are brought up in the world, where we feel limits, self doubt, fear, self judgment, questioning, not feeling sure, feeling stuck, feeling as though we're spiraling downward. So, how do we tune in and tap back in so we are just, moving upward and expanding in a really beautiful way? You don't need to force any mindset shift. You don't need to force, and I want to be really clear with how I say this, right? Because we talk about like positive affirmations and like thinking a different thought and thinking a different thought and thinking a different thought. Remember, you don't have to force yourself into any of those new empowered beliefs. You just need to return what is absolutely true, definitely true for you. How do you know if it's true? Because it feels so darn good. Your emotions will guide you toward that higher vibration, that higher resonant feeling. And it kind of reminds me of, you know, talking about the practice of mindfulness and really like leaning into this idea of kindergarten mind, kindergarten mindset. Remember who you are at that level, that kindergarten mind where everything seems new for the very first time. Feeling that childlike curiosity, being present in the moment, not thinking about what was, not thinking about what will be, and just feeling free to create. And that is what this multidimensional mindset and approach is all about. It is a full body, soul level, using your mind to remember, to be the boss of your mind, to shift your perceptions in a way that feels so darn good and happy and high vibe and expansive that you just become this amazing, attractive ball of energy in a really big, profound, lovely way. When you get into that space, when you get clear on who you are and what you want to create, everything will open up for you. It is all about tuning into your very nature, that you are indeed expansive and infinite and powerful, and you are doing it in this amazing three-dimensional reality. So, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling a little bit lower vibe, if you're feeling, a little bit broken or a little bit off, remember, you just can always go back and tune into who you are at the soul level, remembering who you are before the world told you to forget, before the world told you you're not that, you're this. And that wonder, that amazing awe like childlike wonder is still inside of you. It was real, it is still there. Tune in, open your heart, be creative, be playful, be joyful, be all of the things that will allow you to open up and fully create from that space and just fall in love with the brilliance that is already inside of you. I will see you next time. If this video resonates with you, please hit subscribe and like and comment, and I will see you next time. Namaste.